Oh, hello.
Hey Jen, how are you?
Good. How are you?
All right. Oh, Carly. Oh, Carly. Yeah.
How are you?
All right. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm
Leonie,
good.
what are you doing? Oh.
Jess, do you want to mute this thing so you don't hear the noise here?
Sure. But if you need to ask questions, go for it. But we're just gonna roll with it once Alana jumps on.
Okay, audio.
Everyone knows how to do footwork, which is fabulous. Jen, can you aim your camera down so I can see the reformer? Legend. Oh, perfect. All right. Oh, I have done that. Hope we're all feeling good today. Leonie and I had a big day of moving stuff yesterday. So she's like, you can see Leonie casually just laying on the reformer, ready to go. Not dead is the answer. And we're all like, we really want to get going today. I'm quite excited. Actually, I'll sit on, oh, that's a bad side to sit on. Hang on, this side's a bit better. Then people can see for now. Before I come and get you, Leonie, watch out. Watch out. And then everyone can say hi to Sue. Hi. Everyone can say hi to Sue, who's not here today, but she's going to get this recording and do it anyway. But yeah. All right. So really only Alana and Leonie were here last week. So we're actually going to keep building on the program that we've already done, which is pretty fun. Is that Kermie? Olive. Yep. Yep. Olive's coming for Jen, where's your dog? Everyone's got a dog. Why don't we have a dog? We need a dog.
He's outside somewhere.
Go dog. Is Bear around? There's Bear having a good time. All right.
Bear is around. Are we doing off mute or on mute?
For the moment, you can go muted, but if you need to jump in, if I start talking to you, absolutely, you can come on and talk as well. That's fine. I'm not a mute opposed to some talking. It's quite fun. All right, everyone. Hopefully you're feeling pretty good today. What we're going to keep working through is working toward the full original program. So we started it last week and we're just going to keep going on it for the next few months, really, if you're around for these classes. So it does take a bit of time, and there's some preps and things that we're going to put into it so that everything can evolve. So let's all take ourselves laying onto the reformer for footwork. So I know Leonie and Jen, you've done your footwork already, but you're going to do it again. So let's go toes V and then head on out. And yeah, footwork brings Alana for you as well. Super. So really, like most of you, I've taught the extra 5% in our footwork. So when we actually get to the end, give yourself that extra press all the way up so that you can get it feels like your body gets somewhat of a stretch. Then use that feeling to come back into the stopper. So some of you will probably go a little bit slower than normal while you're getting used to this feeling, and that's okay. So if we get to around 6 or 7 slower reps, that's more what we're looking at today rather than 10 really fast ones. We can swap to arches with feet together, knees together. Nice. Oh, Carly's got everyone now. I'm in. It's all right. I can still see your knees. We're good. And I trust you. Brilliant. So you'll start to feel how the different foot positions, when you are going that extra length, changes as we change our foot position. So I find arches and heels a lot harder than, say, a toes position to get that push out. Leonie agrees with me. Super nice. Once we've finished this last one, we can change onto the heels and then repeat one more time. So the other thing we can think of while we're going for our stretch in terms of what it would feel like for footwork on the reformer what a really nice thing to think about is how much we can actually press up into our shoulders. So sometimes we forget about what's going on in the top half of the body and just focus on the legs, but we want to translate all of our press all the way up to our head, really. So it may change the shape of you while you're on the reformer, but that's okay. We'll just let that happen today. Count another 2, and then you can have a choice between toes parallel or toes V on the bar for tendon stretch. So we'll take it onto the toes, press all the way out and hold. So once you're all the way out there, really big lift up onto our toes. Nice, Leonie. And then all you're going to do from there is imagine that you're leaving the carriage where it is to bring your heels under. So you can have a think about that cue. It's not the easiest to interpret. So leave the carriage where it is to let the heels come under. If I'm doing this with me or with other people that I'm teaching, what it does is it forces us, A, to slow down, and B, to really hold our toes onto the bar. So it's less of a drop under and more of a pull. So if you struggle a little bit or you know, like these type of calf raises feel really good, that will also help you to get a little bit more range and like I say dexterity of our feet as if like they're hands. So that's another thing that we can think of there. Yes, Jen?
I'll be back in a minute.
No worries. You go. Oh, she's going to miss the 100. That's everyone's favorite. Oh, Leonie, you're staying. I hope no one heard that. So the last time we're going to press up and hold. If we are in parallel, let's take heels together and try that the last little 1% to push all the way out, because this is how the 100 will translate from footwork, is this last point here. So the angle of the legs, the press up into the shoulders, the feeling of length in the back body, all of that comes into practice. So let's bring ourselves back in. Leonie and Carla, you can take your foot bar down. And then Alana, spring for the 100. I reckon this has got to be like one of Carly's favorites. Yeah, because she can talk while the 100's happening. I cannot. Okay, so the position we can try for this one, there's a number of them. So we can either practice going from straight legs over the bar or knees tucked into the chest. And that's really your options. Carly, if you got knees into your chest, where you are now, try and lift your bum up a little bit more. Actually, we can all do that. So Leonie, if you go knees to your chest, beautiful. Almost tip your hips way back, like you're trying to do a rollover. And then we did this one last week. So we're just going to hold that shape and press our hands down. Foot bar down, Jen, for 3 to 4 springs for you. And then arms up. And we do it again. Actually, I like what you were doing. So Leonie's got head up as well. So you can take that option if that feels like the better position. And just see what happens for you there. Oh, team, awesome. One more in total and hold up this time if we've got head up. And let's just go knees as close to our head as humanly possible. Push through your hands to the foot bar as humanly possible. I think I'll call this the 5% class. And then once we're there, lock it in, legs out long if they choose to be, and let's go the 100. Super good. So wherever you are, it doesn't matter because I'm not a long leg 100er at the beginning either. So while we're 100ing along, think a little bit more of the entire rib cage lifting up off the carriage. And that can be a floating feeling, that can be a curling feeling, or that can be a strength from the arms kind of feeling. Are you counting, Leonie? Okay, great. So it's all just like, how do we keep going? Even no straps, Alana, is so fine. As we get to like the 80, 90 number, we're going to lift a little bit higher. And then bringing ourselves all the way back down. Those on classical reformers, 2 straps into your non-writing hand. You're going to teaser up. Alana, if it works on your reformer, you can too. Change your springs to what you'd like to do, legs in straps on Alana, and everyone else probably 2 springs. So what we're going to have a crack of today is the overhead. And then we'll do some short spine a little bit later. So how we're going to do the overhead is really similar to how we started the 100 as well, except from the other direction. So if we take legs out straight over the bar, good try, Leonie, I don't know what you're doing there, but the wrong thing is the answer. Legs out straight over the bar. And then we want to use the same as what we do for legs in straps anyway, because it's a heavier press when we're doing something like the overhead, which is hands in your handles later. Listening skills is going on over here. So when we're going overhead, we've got to get the hands and the feet happening first. So all we're going to do is straight legs out long, arms pressed down, legs lift up, and that's it. Hold on to it and then come out of it. Super good. Again, so hands down, legs up, and really practice pressing through the arms. Fabulous. You guys are going to keep going through this, but just have a think about if you've had clients who they tend to jump before their hands get down to the carriage. That's just a habit we've got to train ourselves out of. Nice. So we can also work on pulling our thighs as close to our body as we can, just with muscles. Yeah, team, awesome. Now, if you choose, add the rollover or just keep going with what we're doing. Nice, Jen. Roll on out of it. Legs lower down, arms lift up. And we start the same. So let's go through the process. So hands down, legs up. Thighs as close to you as possible. Let yourself roll over. Awesome. Pause for a beat. Roll back down. When your butt hits, arms up, legs out, all the way straight. 2 more only. Nice, Carly. And then on our last one, if you choose to do the jackknife in this process, you can. So that's going to give you a real idea of things that come later. So legs up to the sky if we want to. Awesome. There you go. Now knees to our chest as we come down. When your butt hits, elbows bend as well. And I want you to squash your elbows into your sides as much as you can. So we're starting with the last 5% all the way. So we're going to do coordination head down for a few times. And how we're going to do that is like this. Arms and legs press out long. Slow open of your legs. Slow close. Knees in. Bend your elbows. And again, press out. 1 press. Good. Open, close, knees, elbows. So one of the reported ways that Joseph Pilates actually taught this was an inhale the entire time, apart from when you're coming in, which was the exhale. So it's all about how much air can we get through us. So say if I'm teaching on Leonie for a moment, she's going to inhale the whole time and only exhale now. So it's a breath in to press long. You keep breathing in to open the legs. You keep breathing in to close, and then exhale to release. 1 more time. Big breath, open, close, bring it in. Fabulous. Set your straps for short spine. So we'll do that now. And then as soon as your legs are in straps, let's just go straight into frog. And we'll try, Jen, you can roll straight into your straps with 2 feet, like rollover style. Excellent. Is that pretty good now? Yeah. So what we want to try and work just from our frog is once your legs are out straight, think of the angle of your legs going toward, think of it as like the most sticky point of your spine. So For someone like me who's got quite a high sticky point, like ribbish area, my legs will be higher because that's actually the position on that axis where I want my weight to go. If you've got a lower point, so say like low back, try your legs lower. It's a little bit tricky on the classical reformers because you're going to get stuck with the shoulder blocks, but we can have a go. Yeah, super good. What it feels like muscle-wise is as if your back pulls onto the carriage first, and then that motion brings your legs in with you. Super good, team. When you're doing this a lot, it's almost trance-like, so it's very smooth and clean. Okay, now next time our legs are out, let's hold them out. Big push through your arms, hips up to the sky, and let's roll overhead. Nice. Weird cue, but lift your hips higher. Yep, that's it, Leonie. Knees to the shoulder blocks. And then roll on down. Pressing out again. Hips up, roll over. So really lift your hips up. Excellent. Knees to the blocks. Roll on down. Super good. If you want to stay with that particular short spine, go for it. The other version we can do is hold your knees literally on your chest and roll away from your feet as you come back to the start position. So if we go all the way over, knees into your chest, feet will stay where they are and roll away from your feet. So you open the back of your knees up. Nice, Jen, that's it. Yeah, team. Hell yeah. Go, Alana, all the way. All the way. Yeah. And then we'll finish this last one off. And then straps can come off. Classicals, we're going to one spring. Alana, pick something for a rowing type exercise. So probably one spring. And then we're going to face the back. All right. So we did some bicep rowing preps last week because it's helping, and we want to help ourselves get better at holding in like where our pelvis sits in rowing. So if Leonie's going to bend her knees and wriggle her butt toward the shoulder blocks, so we're going to have a go of like a bent knee version. So we can also do this on the long box, which feels quite good because you can take it into more of a back extension feeling. I do this one with the short loops, so the leather loops. Alana, you could probably do this if you need to with the rope as well, because that works quite well. So it's just a little bit tighter than normal. Okay, so what we're going to go here is we're going to start with our bicep curl, hold it, roll all the way back, roll all the way forward, and then release our bicep curl. Going for that again. So we do one bicep curl, hold on to it, roll back, roll forward. Good, Jen. And release our bicep curl. So we're going to keep going through these a few more times. So when we're doing our bicep curls, what we want to hold on to is the angle at the arm. So if you, like some of us are quite good at this one, and you can have a wider angle as long as that whole arm process comes with you. So it does feel somewhat like you're lifting your elbows up and trying to punch your hands behind you. Oh, Alana, hell yeah. Bonuses of your reformer. So Jen, if you roll back, keep your elbows right up, because this is a good one for you to practice for your spine. Hell yeah, there you go. We'll take one more. And then we're going to hold down. So once we're down, stay down. Off you go. Oh, roll back. And then just keep going for your bicep curls. Okay, so while we're bicep curling, we're going to try elbows up higher. and almost to the point where we want to roll up. So we're balancing on that back edge of our sacrum. Yeah, Carly, that's the smile that we need. I do that too. Excellent. So you're higher than you think. It's a bit foul. Good. We'll go one more only. Just for fun, hold a position that feels okay. So it might be like a half curl. Excellent. Let's bring one leg up toward our chest or one knee up toward our chest. Yeah. The other knee up toward our chest. Can we bicep curl there a few times? The answer can be no. Woo! I told Leonie this was going to be an easy class to make her do it. Good. One more time. Nice, Jen. Hell yeah. Feet go down, curl forward, have a moment and cry. And then we're going to turn around. Alrighty. So if we go on the same pelvis trajectory, when we're doing rowing from the chest, we want to learn how to hold ourselves in a position that is like really strong in our pelvis. So before we head off, you can pop your straps down just on the leather next to you, so we don't have to hold on to them yet. If we go hands next to our hips, my God, you're going to kill me after today, I just realized. Oh, well. So we're going to do like a tendon stretch prep, and it's quite hard. So if you're pressing hard down onto your reformer, think like you're on a set of parallettes. Because guess what we're going to do? Lift our legs up. Or try and pretend and try. Right, so push down, legs lift up. We're going to try both from the get-go and just try and fail, basically. Try and fail. Yeah. So we're not leaning back. We've actually got to lean forward into this one to get it. Yeah, Alana, like that. Now legs up, Alana. Boom. There you go. Good. One more try. And then the trying is the big part, because if you can get some kind of hold or muscle hold onto it and then pick up your straps. Nice. Okay, body's good now. So all we do is punch forward, down, up to circle, hold onto your body and your legs. Good, and bring it back to your armpits straight away. Out, down, up to circle, and really milk the circle. And around. So those of you who have an armchair, this is more equivalent to doing rowing on the armchair than it is on the reformer. Alana, you've just got to imagine, you've got to try and lift your legs. That's the feeling. Yeah. Same kind of thing. We're going to go from the hip. So hands all the way down by our hip. Now big brutal press forward. So go for your legs straight away. Good. Arms come up, spine comes up. Imagine lifting your legs. So it's kind of like boomerang. Circle to your hip, press down to the feet. Good, Jen. Roll all the way up. Yeah, hell yeah. And around. 2 more reps. If you think back to that cue I gave last week of trying to like pass a stick under your feet, that one will get you right down under your heels. Yeah, Carly, there you go. There's your last 5%, Jen. Well done. Last time through. So big press down. Roll all the way up. And then into cross legs for shaving hug a tree. So we're going to try knuckles together for shaving. And they're going to go way behind our head. Excellent. You're going to have to lean forward somewhat and lift your chair and your eyeballs up. Then push forward with your hands. Yeah, that's it. So Jen, for you, think squeeze the back of your rib cage will help you with this one. Because you've got to get like strong body, strong back. Arms will do the job. Excellent. 2 more times. And then holding your arms all the way out. Let's bring them for hug a tree and pull it all the way in. So the press forward in the hands is the big one we talked about last week. So it's kind of like when you get to your end, think you could push the back of your hand a bit further away from you. It's a bit ballet-esque, but it does work. So push the back of your hands away from you. Good, last time. Awesome job. Arms can come down, hang up your straps. And let's get a long box on. Thank you. Okay. Swan springs for upright swan. So if I'm on usually 2, so I think I did this on 2 red, Alana, if that's around what we're looking at for you. And then how we're going to come into this one is if we choose either the platform or the foot bar to put our feet on, we're going to be facing our box and the back end of our reformer. So coming on from the foot bar side. Hook your toes under already into a spot where they're probably going to stay, and let's go heels together. So before we get on the box, we just have to we're going to start in the upright position. So once we're on, think about it like doing a mat work swan, except you've got knees bent. So if we push our boxes out, fold yourselves in so you're up on your thighs. Yeah, nice. And just have hands down onto the box for the minute. So the first thing we want to think of here is if I had to take my hands off the box, where would what my back muscles be doing? Yeah, nice. And like tuck as much as you humanly can. That's the biggest thing you can do for yourself here. And all we're going to do is calf raises. So pushing off our foot bar and lifting our heels. Exactly. That's it, Jen. Awesome stuff. If you're pretty happy in this position, you can take your hands off and I would bring them to a T because that's more where we can hold our back muscles on. Excellent. That's way better, Jen, than what we did the last couple of weeks ago. Now on the next rep, we're going to hold our heels down. So heels as if we're standing on the floor. And you're going to curl your head onto the top of the box and come back up again. Excellent. So if you watch, so you've got Carly, Alana, and Leonie all doing different versions of this, all of which are totally correct and fine. So Alana had no hands, Leonie, Carly had hands on, and that's sometimes what we have to do to get this top section happening because it's tricky. But it gives you the idea of how much legs you actually have to use. So let's have another go of that one. Nice, Carly. So Jen, if you keep your hands on the box, think how can I curl my head all the way down and pop my forehead on the box and then come up again? Yes, my friend, there you go. Super, one more time. And then we'll have a little collapse down onto the box. If you want to use heavy springs for pulling straps, go for it. If no, come and change down. So if we're going heavy springs for pulling straps, it's okay if we don't get arms all the way up to our hips. It's more for just the strength component of it if this is something you're practicing. Excellent. So once we're down, scoot forward a bit, Leonie, as well. Yeah, super. Once we're down, straight legs, so straight knees, and it's almost thighs off the box at this point, almost thighs off the box. Excellent stuff. Think of this as an arms exercise. So we're going to lift our head, pull our hands to our hips, and then really go for a big chest forward. Excellent. Lower down, and we do that all again. Again, if you're on heavy springs, don't worry if you don't get hands all the way up. Just go where you can. Nice, Carly. If you are working on the arms, really think of this as an arms exercise and don't worry too much about the extension part yet because it does come. Nice, Jen. One more time. Holding your arms up, take them out to a T shape in line with your shoulders and lift them higher than you think. Yes. And then we go hands into our hips and open again. Hands to hips and open to a T. Again, if it's heavy, just go with what you can. You have 2 more only. Nice, Leonie. Last one. Fabulous. And then laying ourselves all the way down. Two straps into your right hand. Step off to your right side. And then turning around to face front. If you had whatever your heavy springs were for pull straps, we'll do that for backstroke as well. Because backstroke, you don't want it too light. And then we're just going to start in the sitting position for backstroke. Okay. So before we roll all the way down, what we're trying to get with this one is what we want to come into the position we're going to stay in, which is why it's always better coming in from the top, because it's such a necky exercise when we try and lift from below. Also, it's teaching us something about teaser. So as we roll all the way down onto our back, we're not going to go all the way back. We're going to think like 3/4 of the way back, hands into our head, knees into our chest. That's it. Right there, Leonie. Awesome. So higher than you think, Jen. Yeah, that's the one. Okay, everyone, arms and legs up to the sky. Circle your arms and legs down to the 100 shape. Pause for 3, 2, 1. Bring it all the way back in, knees to head. And again, up, circle, down to the 100 shape and hold. Get higher with your chest. 2, 3, bring it in. Awesome. One more of those. So up, circle, hold your 100, get higher. 2, 3, bring it in. We go backward this time. So pressing to the 100. Yeah, it's the worst. 2, 3, circle to the sky, fold into your shape. One more time. So press to the 100, circle up to the sky, and then all the way back in. Fab. Staying where you are. If we need to change, if we need to spring down for teaser, please do. And we're going to do some things here. Alrighty, so let's get in a position where we can feel the backs of our thighs on the box. I guess that's a good way to say. So we don't want to be too close to the front edge just for this little version we're doing today. So what the teaser we're going to do right now is more like a roll up with straps rather than teaser with legs all the way to the sky. So for some, it's going to feel really weird and hard. So if we already bring our legs into a strong position, so that's often together and lifted, all we're going to try and do is bring our hands up and our head up and just reach forward over our toes. Good, big stretch forward, Leonie. Yeah. Good. Hold that spot. Yes, Jen. Roll all the way back down. And try that one again. So it's sometimes a less scary way for clients to be introduced to teaser on the box is just keep your legs down. And you've got to push through your arms. Exactly. So the arms for this for women is key. And if we pause at our end, yep, Carly, lift your legs up from there. Excellent. Lower them down. And again, legs up from there. And down. One more time. Good. Now holding legs up. 3 tiny circles of your arms. We go 1. Good, Jen. 2, 3. Roll down. 2 straps. No, we don't have to worry. We're going to go straight to horseback today. Hell yeah, the best exercise in the world. So let's all come up on our box. Horseback pose. So sitting probably toward the back edge of your box. Best exercise ever. Right. So straight legs, so knees are toward the top edge of the box for this one. And we want to think of this pretty much like the teaser roll-ups thing that we just did before. So it's essentially that, but we're going in the other way. Did we do the one with legs on the box last week, like spine stretch? So we'll start with that one. So if you actually bring legs on top of the box, like spine stretch. And then we're just going to do the arms and the body. Straight legs, yeah. So arms down by your side. So hands with a little, like hug a tree kind of jazz. So there's our back of our palms again. All we're going to do is round our spine and reach our arms forward. So all the way forward. Yep. That's it. Nice. Good team. And then arms come down again. Yep. And again. So same shape, Carly, as hug a tree, just from teaser spot. Yep. Jen, go hands the other way. So that's yeah, there you go. Because you always want to be lifting up for a horseback. So if we're at our end this time, so big stretch forward. So where you are here, keep pushing through your hands and try and lift your legs up. And it sounds mad, but that's the feeling we want out of our legs. They're not going to go anywhere, but they are going to try. So that amount of muscling, we're now going to take it to more of our horseback shape. So if we split our legs on the box, exactly. Okay. So find a shape first. So nice, like a decent round shape. Arms are going to reach forward at the same time we squeeze the shit out of the box and let our butt lift up a little bit higher. Good. Take a pause and just lift your arms higher. Yes. And then lower down. And again, I'm watching Carly. Carly's favorite. Think like, honestly, like teaser arms. Yeah. That's the one. Two more if we're just going for it. That's it. Carly, arms up. Yes. Yes, there it is. 4 is plenty. Arms up. You got it, friend. Beautiful. And then we're going to hang up our straps onto the pegs. We're going to go on a Romana deviation and do short box now. So if you're gear out as you need. And then short box over the shoulder blocks. And come and sit on top. Super. Probably won't use our poles today, but we'll do that next time. Alrighty. So when you're on your box, so for the classical reformers, we've got to screw our butt back as far as it can go. What you'll do for Alana, for your reformer, is wedge your legs into a position where they're locked in really hard and then just do like a tiny little scoot back. So if you're pulling against your strap with your feet, you're already going to be in an advantageous position. It just doesn't work with long legs on the contemporary reformers, and that's so okay. So if we hug ourselves around our middle, what we're actually going to do is use our arms to lift our ribs up higher. So it's kind of like someone's come behind you and like, you know, like cats when you lift them up and they're like, you know, when you lift them up under their armpits and they do that thing. Yeah, that's it. We're doing that to ourselves, just kind of better. So that's our feeling from our arms. So what we're going to use this for is the roll. So if we roll back, exactly. It's like, yes, Leonie, hell yeah, be a cat. Yeah, be a cat, everyone. And then roll forward. Nice, Alana, that works. Roll like just what Carly did, go right forward. So we don't want to, it's not so much a stunted shape. We keep it going like neck pull. Exactly. Good, Jen. The other thing we want to keep working on is how much can we move our hips? How much can we tuck? And that might mean we slide a little bit, but that's okay. Super good. One more of those. Just remember, be a cat. Fab. Now, if we hold ourselves in our round position forward, as you are, but now flatten your spine out from the top half. So it's like the rib half. Exactly. As you are, hands behind your head. And this time we are going to pull our head up like neck pull. Yeah. From this spot, go into your flat back. So it's like you're pulling your head up to go back, and you keep pulling it up to go forward, and you can go more than 90 degrees as well. So take it into a bit more of a flexion at the hip. So it's good for hip hinging. So really pull your head up and forward. Yeah, keep going, Leonie. And then back again. Fabulous. Let's take 2 more of these. One more time. Finishing forward in this same shape. So if we keep thinking head's getting pulled up, ribs are forward, then lift up into your 90 degree. Woo, and we go side to side. So tilting to our right, almost to the point where our butt's going to lift off of the box. Come back up through the middle, tilting to the left, almost so your butt's going to come off the box. So what that little lift almost does is it forces you to have to plant down when you come back. If we try and hold too solid on the box straight up, it actually doesn't give us a good lateral flexion. It's more a rib shift. So if any of us are from like old school, it almost gives us, it's the opposite to what you think it is. So if you lean, Carly, and really lean sideways, then from here you could probably bend more because you got your hips holding you on. Super good. It's the same thought in a twist. So if we're all the way up here and we're twisting to one side, it's almost to the point where the opposite hip comes with us because we need that hip to de-rotate. So if we try it there, you don't have to do the flat back with this one. It can just be a straight up twist. But I'm glad you're still living. That's it. Nice, Alana. The other thing that really helps with a twist is the feet under the strap. So the more you pull against it, the easier it's going to be to figure out what's going on with the other parts of our body. Once we've done 6, that's enough for today. And then we got tree. Boom, we love a tree. All right, so choose a leg, any leg. Adjust on your box if you need to. So that might mean a little scoot forward or back. And then we'll hook our arm underneath our free leg. And this is where we want to think round back again. So if we've just done our round back, we're going to hold that shape and then just straighten your knee anywhere. So leg goes straight and bend. Exactly. Straight and bend. Last one to pause. So staying where you are, reach for your ankle. Good. And then roll that shape back. So we roll back until our leg's literally at the sky. Take a 3-step walk down your leg. 2, 3. Back bend of choice. Good. And then rolling back up our legs. So what we're going to try and practice today is keeping our legs straight up to the sky. So we have to work our hip, the front of our hip. Then we roll back down again. You're doing fine. Exactly that. If you want an idea of how this could feel without your hands, when you roll back up, just don't hold onto your leg. And that's quite an experience. Try that one. This is the one I do with Trudy because Trudy doesn't back bend, but she does hip flex. So if we try and lift ourselves up as much as we can, 0 hands, damn, that's pretty good. 3 is plenty, holding up at the top, grabbing onto the inside of your arch or your ankle or your pants or something like that. hanging onto the outside of your box with the other hand. Yep, that's it. Rolling back. Split to the side. And then we go big circle to come all the way back up. So think of, so circle out to the side. It's hard to see from there. Yeah. And you can do 1 is fine, 2 is fine also. And then once we finish that one, switch legs over. Nice, Carly. So you can like milk it, Alana, like hard. Yeah, that's it. That's it. All right, switch legs over and we'll do tree on the other side. So once you're there, we'll do the 3 kicks first. And we really want the kicks to be in a position where we can hold our legs straight. So that's I think this is what the kicks is all about, is just testing ourselves and having an idea of where we're actually able to straighten our leg. Then we can walk up to our ankle, rolling back so our leg is at the sky. And then we can take a walk down our leg, bit of a back bend, and then walking back up. So the trick for tree is bringing your body to the tree, which is your leg, instead of the tree to you, which can be quite hard for those of us who are good at hip flexing, because it's easy just to put your head on your knee. Nice, Lana, that's it. You can try the no hands for your final one. And then we'll grab a hold of our ankle or our foot and just do 1 or 2 of the leg circles or the leg mount or tree side. So yeah, like honestly, if this is a good one, milk the crap out of it. Like go for it. Where you are, Carly, is really good actually. Yeah. Super. So once we've done our couple, then we can come off, get rid of your box. And then spring for long stretch. This is going to be the fun series of the day, long stretch. So 2 springs or like, so on the classicals, I'd probably go 2 and then Alana, heavy enough for it to feel like you've got to work. Okie doke. So bringing ourselves in, we're going to take hands on the foot bar first. Lean forward over your foot bar. And then step straight leg into the headrest. Other leg into the headrest. And physically lift up between your shoulders. Yeah, so it's that floating feeling. That shape stays and we press away from the stopper. And we pull into the stopper. So ideally, the easiest way to figure out our feet is hide your heels between the shoulder blocks, because that's just there and then they stay there. Then we don't have to worry about a point flex at any point. Also keep thinking about how much we can tuck through the front of the hips, because that's going to be really, really handy for our next exercise. Super. One more time only. And then once we hit the stopper, eyes forward, head up, go straight into back extension, drop your knees for down stretch. So we're thinking of down stretch like swan plus pulling straps. The idea is the same as long stretch. So we press out and we pull in. So if we've got back stuff happening in, we just go to where we can hold our shape. Nothing super fancy. Give us more of a squeeze at the top between the shoulders, like chest expansion. Awesome. And then once we're back into the stopper, let's pause here. If we can walk onto the tips of our fingers, like crab hands or whatnot, crab fingers, and then see if you can take one little hand off, the other hand off. So it's going to change where your positioning goes. Did you just cheat your way through that? Oh, do it again. Okay, so hips are forward. So this is just a really good way to get back stuff without having to cue back stuff. So if we're in our downstretch shape, we're going to take one hand off. Oh, yep. Try and take the other hand off. So it's forcing you to have to lift yourself upright. Good. Arms come up to the sky. You can do it, Carly. Yeah, that's it. And then back bend of choice. So eyes up, lift your chest high and do a little standing back, kneeling back bend there, like steroids thigh stretch. Exact. Oh, yeah. Hell yeah, everyone. Awesome stuff. Lift yourselves up for up stretch. Ooh, I know. Heels halfway up the shoulder blocks. And we want to find like almost like equal pressure or equal weight actually between hands and feet, because this is the way we want to do this one. Quite round in our spine. And if I was actually cueing you, I'd probably have my hand on your head because that's the easiest place in up stretch to figure out where it needs to stay for the time being. So we're going to push the carriage back and push our hips down. Excellent. Travel forward in a long stretch. Curl over the bar to bring yourselves back to your start position. And then we do it all again. So pressing our feet back, hips down. Long stretch forward. Curl over the bar. And then back up into our start shape. That's right, Alana, you got it. Oh, nice, friend. You could probably go hips a little higher for you, Alana, actually. So this feet back, hips down thing, it comes back in so many Pilates exercises. Hell yeah, that's better. Super good with this one, Jen. Good. Last time through. Hold your shape at the end, drop your heels, and then we'll go straight into elephant. Toes up if we can. So we've got a bit more pressure in our heels. And then pretty fast. So out and in and out and in. Excellent. Let's count 5 and 4, 3, 2, 1. We're not finished. Let's bring one leg forward. Yeah. If we can float that leg off, go for it. And we do just 4 on that side. So forward, Jen. It's pretty gross. Good. Switch sides. That's better. 3 and 4. Leg to the side. So switch again. We're nearly there, Leonie, I promise. So exactly like tendon stretch, but we're doing it in elephant. Other side. And 2, 3, 4. 2 feet onto your reformer. Walk your hands to your toes. Have a moment. We like a moment. Now, really carefully turn yourselves around so you're doing exactly this, but facing the other way. Super. Hands on the shoulder blocks, please. Awesome. Alana, while you're down there, springs for tendon stretch. I just gave that next one away. Okay, so where you all are, let's walk our heels just to the edge of the reformer, but not off. So they're still on. So you've got full foot on the reformer. Cool. Hands are on the shoulder blocks at this point. And yeah, well done, good listening. And all you're going to do is just walk your hands to your toes. Have a moment there. And then walk your hands back to the shoulder blocks. Yeah. So while we're down there, let's get used to like trying to get our palms down onto the mat. So it might be a bit of a forced stretch down there for some of us. And then walk your palms back onto the blocks. Exactly. One more time. Once our hands are back onto the blocks, now we can take our heels off the edge. Excellent. And just stay there and do, say, like 6 like calf raises. And they can be as big or as small as you need them to be. Jen, I'd probably go a bit more foot on the carriage and just your like the heel of you off. So you've got a bit more like arches on. Yeah. Okie doke. So if we lift up into more of like a quote unquote neutral position, like a standing position with our feet, now do the same hand walk, but end up with your hands on the bar behind you. Same hand walk, but end up with your hands on the bar behind you. Fabulous. So we want to bias a forward lean. It's very easy to lean backward at this point. So the idea of doing tendon stretch for a lot of us is the same lifting feeling that we did earlier in like our teasers, actually. So when you go to press away, imagine it's more about lifting your legs up to your ribs than it is about pushing the carriage. So today's ones will be quite small because we're trying not to rely so much on the reformer to swing us in and out. So it's like you're staying upside down. So I'll show you on Leonie. So if I hold Leonie's head, all she's going to do for us is just press out almost like just a little bit and then pull back in. So essentially her head's staying in the same place. It's not a big tendon stretch, but it's quite hard and muscly. One more for you, then you can have a little break. So if we try that one, imagine I'm with you with like my hand on your head. So it's like you're trying to bring your knees to your head, I guess, in that respect. And it can be millimeters of moving. Super hard. How's that? How's the theory of that, Carly? Your brain computing?
I'm just really nervous still.
There.
Yeah.
You can always just keep doing the walk-ins.
Yeah.
Like worms. That's so fine. I think sometimes when we're not feeling particularly, the other thing I think that comes with that for some people might be that like tendon, I'm not a tight body person, but tendon stretch is super neural when I do it. So it's when I'm not feeling, it's just too much stretch, it can feel really hard to do as well. So it's sometimes like the actual stretch component of that just is not super comfortable for people to do over and over. How do you find that one, Jen, when you're doing tendon stretch?
Is that better? Am I mute? Am I off?
Nah, you're good.
I actually found that scarier than what I was previously doing.
Well, you got to think of it this way too. Like we get used to being like, it's great that we can do it, right? But if we can do it with muscles, then we're going to have a much better time because a lot of us it's just easy to swing in and out and let the carriage do it for you. But if you go back and remember, like what would happen if we had no springs on?
Yeah.
We'd have to move it out with our body, actually.
I'm too scared to try one spring.
I probably wouldn't either, but that's our thought process.
Okay.
Because we're so used to just swinging in and out and letting the carriage kind of pull us in that way. We don't have that option when we're down to one leg. We've got to be able to move through with our muscles a little bit more. So that's something you can practice to put it all together more in like a muscle feeling type tendon stretch. So if you've got some parallettes hanging around or you want to practice more of your tendon stretch with the parallettes or just on yoga blocks, just getting legs up, that's another way. That's the same exercise from a different angle. So if we spring footwork springs, let's lay down and do running and pelvic lift.
I've got to go. I've got class.
You go to class. Good work, Jen. You can do pelvic lift with them in class.
Okay.
See you, Jen.
See you next week. Bye.
Everyone else can do a quick running and pelvic lift. So pressing out to long legs and then 1 foot at a time, just like prancing. And we can go pretty fast for this one. Yeah. Hurts your arthritic toe. Gout. There you go. And then bringing yourselves back in, heels to or arches to the widest part of the bar. Little tuck, little hover, and then you can press out and in from here. Hands under your pelvis if you choose. That's a so fine position. you can do this one, Alana, really turned out, if that's super easy for you, which it very well could be. More parallel is the other option. Rad. And then bringing yourselves back in. I would go 2 springs for lunges. And then we're going to kneel out everything on the carriage, 1 foot up on the bar, the other foot up against the shoulder block. Oh, you've been so good, Olive, if that's your little nose, I can see. It was Kermit.
Oh, that's, I've got them both here still.
Oh, okay, I can see a nose. All right, so let's think kneeling lunge like down stretch. So if we really try and pull our hips forward to the foot bar, keep that upright type shape, and then give your back leg a bit of a press first, and then the front leg will just follow along. So we're biasing more of the back hip. That's nice, Carly. Nice, Alana. Super good. And then bring that back in. So sometimes I find it a bit easier to figure out what your knees are doing in this one. So the back knee is pressing open, and the front knee is almost connected up onto our chest the whole time. So it's just a different idea about it, because it's such an easy way to kick back and get a hamstring stretch. But if we want to do full split eventually, we need our back leg. If this is your third and there's a sweet spot on the way out, pause in that spot for a couple of beats and just do it almost like you want to take your hands off the bar. Doesn't have to be literal, but you can think it like a fingertip or something like that. Awesome. Bring it back in. Switch legs over. And then same again. So let's think down stretch shape first. So chest up as best you can, Carly. And then press on out. Do you keep thinking chest up? Yeah. Like whole ribs for you. Oh, yeah, there you go. Can you see Alana on the screen, Leonie? Yeah. If you have a look at when she's pressing out, see how she's not curling into this one. It's more like an upright. Different bodies, but that's the idea. That's it. That's better. Yeah, because then you've got to work. I know. If you found your sweet spot, have a hold if you haven't already. Yeah, there you go. Exactly. Yep. Super good. And then we'll bring everyone back in. Good. Do a backflip. Oh, no one took me up on that offer. Everyone down flopped. Oh, dogs.
It's all right. A pillow just fell on his head.
We didn't have a bear appearance, Alana. Or maybe we did and I missed him.
Came in for like a cameo during pulling straps. He just sat by the rails.
Yeah, fair.
And then
I
he's
like-
gone back to sleep over there.
Okay, we like this.
I've
Oh,
never done lunges like that.
like that.
That was super intense. No.
Oh, yeah, it's good. I think it's just because you got the feedback of your thigh on your chest.
Mm.
So if you're teaching people, because I think like what sometimes happens is we think about the hamstring portion of it so much because people want to stretch.
That's what they want. Yeah.
Yeah, but we're missing out on the hamstring strength version that's also got to bring us in and hold. Because if we're not having that hold portion of our muscle, then when we stand up, we're not going to be able to get in and out or feel confident doing that because we're not holding our muscles on tension.
Yeah.
That kind of thing too. And if you were ever doing like giant splits with the foot bar down, you got to have some kind of control over your legs or it's more like a strength. Like you've seen all like PT men who've done like hundreds of years of lifting and then all of a sudden they've done their mobility training and they can do splits. So there's no reason why we can't also train that strength component when we're doing our lunges.
Mhm.
Just an idea though. And of course, like not everyone's going to love it and not everyone it's appropriate for anyway, but we can try. Any other
Love it.
questions for, oh, hi.
Why is, for my lack of classical understanding, why is the pelvic lift at the end?
Because it's the opposite of a hip flexor stretch. It's the back psoas part.
So it's just about like balancing it out, so to
I
speak, at the end.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, okay, cool.
So it's more like it gives you the spine section.
Yep.
Psoas, I guess, yeah. So we come full circle is the other way to think about it, which is kind of funny because in the classical series we end up standing up again, but you've also got to remember that at some point we have squats on the reformer.
Mm.
Yeah, so we also want to think about how do we need to set our body up for that, and often it's some lower back stuff that we've got to think about there too. But that's my theory on it. I'm just like, oh, it's like the back hip flexor stretch. But yeah,
The back hip flexor stretch.
back hip flexor stretch. Yeah,
Love it.
we will do reverse horseback one day, Carly, as well. Yeah,
Good.
reverse horseback
I love that one.
program. Yeah, that's a good one. You are doing that on Monday. Yeah, there we go. If you have any questions, please shoot it through. If it was just a great time, that's fine.
Yeah, that was awesome.
It was a great time.
Yeah. Oh, it's there.
There's
Here
Bear.
he is.
Oh, we got the
Oh,
faces there too. Oh, yay. Oh, see, can you see like there's a head?
I
there.
love your dogs, Carly. They're just so majestic and
You should bring your cats in.
float around the
Thank
world.
you.
They're so gorgeous.
Oh,
They're very sweet.
they are.
You guys need a dog, Jess
We
and
know
Leonie.
this. I show my husband every night. I'm like, look at all these dogs we need to adopt. All of them. Yeah. And he's like, yeah, okay. He's like, where are you taking this dog? I'm like, to work. Anyway.
Yeah, you are.
I know. We've got everyone else's dogs coming here. We're going to do a calendar of people and their dogs.
Aw.
Oh, that's awesome. I love that. Dog paraphernalia all the way.
I think we've got at least 4 years worth of pictures ready to go. So, yeah. All right, legends.
Why don't you just get cardboard cutouts like me as well? Just have them around the studio.
Alana has a cardboard cutout of there. It's great. Carly, you can bring cardboard cutouts too.
Yeah, I think I might have to.
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, friends.
Thanks so much, Jess.
This afternoon. We'll
See
see
you
you
next week.
Yeah, see you next week. Bye.
See you next week.